Welcome back to another special edition of Cape Ann Today. Today, I am joined by Julie Travers. She is the local history librarian at the Sawyer Free Library. How are you, Julie?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. Okay, so we have a lot to unpack here. First of all, we have a very special announcement from the library.
Yes. So we are debuting our Gloucester Timeline and Interactive History, which is a project that we've been working on for over 2 years. So it is a digital timeline available through the library's website. The URL is timeline.sawyerfreelibrary.org. And it is a compilation of over 1,500 events at this point that cover different pieces of Gloucester's history, notable personalities, um, big events, small events, just all the events that make up Gloucester's history.
Yeah, so Julie, just tell me a little bit about the work that you had to put into compiling data that included more than 1,500 events.
Yeah, so we worked on a team. Peggy Calkins, who is a volunteer at the City Archives, worked with me. But this is, a joint project between the library, definitely the City Archives and Cape Ann Museum. So we went around to those organizations as well as a bunch of help from other cultural institutions on Cape Ann, like Sandy Bay Historical Society, Annisquam Historical Society, and the Hammond Castle Museum, who are all hugely helpful in this project.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be clear with everyone, the timeline docu-series that I produced for 1623 Studios doesn't exist without the help of Julie and Sawyer Free Library and the Cape Ann Museum and all these other local museums and libraries that we work with. But really, it is Sawyer Free and Cape Ann Museum. Everything sort of starts there and moves outward. So Julie, let's just talk about some of the features and facets because I'll have some pictures up here of the digital timeline that'll make discovering these events more helpful for people.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of cool aspects of the timeline that I'm really excited about for people to see. First of all, you can look at the timeline a bunch of different ways. You can view it by category. So we've categorized about 67 categories that we think are really important to Gloucester's history. So you could view everything about fires that happened on Cape Ann or the granite industry and dive in deeper into that specific category. It's also keyword searchable. So if you were looking into a business or a year, you could search that way as well, and then just get results that are based on that, your search. It is basically just another version is just to be able to look at the full timeline, scrolling all the way from, we have dates in there 12,000 years ago to 2024 at this point. And so it's something that will just keep going. So we've kind of laid the groundwork for the timeline, but we're hoping that the community will come together and submit events that they think are important with, sourced historical documents to help us add to these bones that we created.
And is there a spot on that website and that web page where people can physically submit submissions to you?
Yes, there will be. It will be called Submit Your Own Entry, and all the information that we're asking for will be on there.
Yeah, and also and it's aesthetically pleasing too. I love how there's almost a chronological timeline bar at the bottom that actually shows the populated events, according to date, and so that's really cool. So it's really easy to scroll through, and like I said, there's 2 or 3 different ways you can approach whether you want to research something or just kind of get lost in the rabbit holes of the amazing rich history here.
Yeah, definitely. And I should also mention that a huge part of what we did at all these other cultural institutions was to gather photos, videos, newspaper articles, city records, and digitize them if they haven't been digitized already, and then add them to this platform. So everything, hopefully, most things have some kind of asset attached to it, which is really exciting.
Very cool. So, okay, so now let's talk about the big event we have next Wednesday night, which is January 31st at the Beauport Hotel that the library, the Gloucester 100 Plus is a part of.
Yeah, so this is a joint event with the 400 Plus and the library. So half of it will be acknowledging the relocation of the digital 400 Stories project to the Sawyer Free Library and specifically to the timeline. So all those stories will appear in the timeline as entries. that's really exciting. So half the program will be devoted to that, and half of the program will be devoted to just, showing the public this tool, this interactive research tool, the timeline itself, and yeah, just acknowledging all the hard work that everybody's put in.
Yeah. So if people want to find out or learn more about the timeline or the event next week, how can they go about doing that?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, sawyerfreelibrary.org, and find our calendar, which you should find on the
Right on the landing page on the homepage.
yep,
There,
right
yeah.
on the landing page. Yep, there's an event there. No registration is necessary. We just hope everybody comes out at 6:30 next Wednesday.
Mhm. And we'll have those links in there for you as well. Okay, so Julie, before we let you go, just anything else you want folks to know about the timeline or why this has been such an important project for Sawyer Free to put together?
Yeah, just a huge thank you to everybody who helped. This is not something that I did alone. This was a joint effort by everybody at the library who was involved. And then, like I mentioned before, all the other cultural institutions were extremely helpful. And just being aware that this is not a full history, and we're not claiming it's a full history, but it is a start, and we hope to continue to add to it over time.
Yeah, and that's to me my favorite part about working on the timelines is it's working with you, seeing the treasure trove of archives available, but also asking the public for help too, because you have no idea what people keep in their attics or basements or just heirlooms, et cetera, et cetera. And that's really what helps fully form these stories in our history and to make it so well rounded.
Definitely. Yeah.
Julie, we appreciate your time and thanks for all your hard work and you and the team in putting this together. We look forward to checking it out and we will see you next Wednesday at the Beauport Hotel.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.